Good morning, students. We are into solving question paper, and I'll be taking up first question number 7C. Derive the boundary conditions at the interface between two magnetic materials of different permeabilities. Here we are considering the closed rectangular path for deriving the boundary conditions for tangential component. So the closed rectangular path is ABCDA, right? Half of it is in medium 1 and half of it is in medium 2. So delta H by 2 and delta H by 2, right? Width of this rectangular path is delta W, right? And we will be deriving the boundary conditions for the tangential component. Fine. So we can also derive the boundary conditions for the normal component, but we'll be taking up the boundary conditions for tangential component here, as the marks weightage for this question is 7 marks. Okay. So here the first equation that we'll be considering is the Ampere circuital law, that is closed surface integral of h bar dot dl bar, this is equal to I. Take it as equation 1. This is the Ampere circuital law. The closed path that is considered, as I told just now, is ABCDA. That is a closed path. So this closed path is divided into if I write the closed surface integral h bar dot dl bar, so this will be divided into, right, A to B, B to 1, 1 to C, C to D, D to 2 and 2 to A. So this will be the closed path, and we will be considering these here, that is A to B h bar dot dl bar plus B to 1 h bar dot dl bar plus 1 to C h bar dot dl bar plus, that is C to D h bar dot dl bar plus D to 2 h bar dot dl bar plus 2 to A h bar dot dl bar. This is equal to total current I. Fine. Now here we are considering that is h bar can be assumed constant, because the surface, this surface whatever is there, there is a small surface here. So this is a very small surface, so we can consider that is h tan 1 in medium 1 and h tan 2 in medium 2 to be constant. Similarly, the normal component hn1 and hn2 can also be assumed to be constant here, right? Considering the surface, that is A to B and C to D, they are parallel. A to D, AD and BC, they are also parallel, and this surface AB and CD are very small surfaces. Here we are assuming that K bar is the surface current normal to the path. So K bar is a current surface normal to the path here, right? That is K bar. Then normal and tangential components in medium 1 and medium 2 are in opposite direction. Okay. So here the equation will be K dot dw. What is K here? K bar is a surface current normal to the path. So K dot dw, this is equal to h tan 1 delta w, h tan 1 into delta w, because we know that from this Ampere circuital law, h bar dot dl bar is equal to I, right? So K dot dw, K is the current, surface current normal to the path, dot its length or the width here. So that is h tan 1 delta w plus hn1 delta h by 2 plus, so h tan 1, that is a tangential component, h tan 1 tangential component of the first medium into delta w plus hn1 of the first medium into delta h by 2, that is the height delta h by 2. Okay, delta h by 2, that is b to 1 delta h by 2. Okay, similarly we will be writing for the others, that is 1 to C, C to D, D to 2 and 2 to A. That will come out to here, plus hn2 delta h by 2. Fine. minus h tan 2 delta w minus hn2 delta h by 2 minus hn1 delta h by 2. Take it as equation 2 here. Okay, this is, we will take it as 2 and this as 3, equation 3. To get the boundary conditions, if you want the boundary conditions, then delta h should be 0, delta h should tend to 0, the height should become equal to 0 to get the boundary conditions at the boundary. Therefore k dot dw, so this will be equal to, so the h tends to 0 means this will become 0, this will become 0, this is 0, this is 0, so only this and this term will remain. So k dot dw is equal to h tan 1 delta w minus h tan 2 delta w, or h tan 1 minus h tan 2, this is equal to k, because here this is delta w is common into h tan 1 minus h tan 2, dw and delta w will cancel, so h tan 1 minus h tan 2 is equal to k here. Take it as equation 4. I can write it in a vector form, so this I can express it in vector form here. So in vector form this equation will become, that is h tan 1 minus h tan 2 bar, this is equal to a12 bar into k bar, where an12 it is a normal component, an12 is a unit vector in the direction normal at the boundary from medium 1 to medium 2. It is the unit vector normal to the boundary between medium 1 to medium 2. Now if we consider in terms of b bar, so take this equation as, previous equation was 4th equation, take it as 5 here, equation number 5. Okay, here b bar is nothing but mu into h bar, or h is equal to b by mu, h is equal to b by mu. So this, if we substitute in the equation number, that is h tan 1 minus h tan 2 is equal to k, that is equation 4. So this, if we substitute in equation 4, then we get b tan 1 divided by mu 1 minus b tan 2, this divided by mu 2 is equal to k. Okay, now here k is 0 if we consider the condition, boundary condition for the surface which is free of current. Okay, if we consider for the boundary which is free of current, so if it is free of current means k is 0, current is 0, therefore b tan 1 divided by mu 1 minus b tan 2 this divided by mu 2, this is equal to 0, correct, or b tan 1 this divided by b tan 1 this divided by b tan 1 this divided by mu 1, this is equal to b tan 2 this divided by mu 2, b tan 2 by mu 2, or b tan 1 by b tan 2, b tan 1 this divided by b tan 2, this is equal to mu 1 by mu 2, mu 1 by mu 2, mu 1 by mu 2, or this is equal to mu naught mu r1 or mu r1 divided by mu r2, mu r1 by mu r2. Here we are considering the one which is moving from, that is let us consider the magnetic field which is passing from, let us consider here. So this is the that is b2 bar and this is b1 bar here, b1 bar. Okay, so this is bn1 bar, bn1, and this is the tangential component b tan 1, this is alpha 1 and this is alpha 2. So this component is b tan 2, this is bn2, this is medium 1, this is medium 2, correct. Now I can write tan alpha 1, this is equal to, tan alpha 1 is opposite side by adjacent side, that is b tan 1 this divided by b tan 1 divided by bn1. Similarly tan alpha 2. So this is for that is tan alpha 1, then tan alpha 2, tan alpha 2, this is equal to b tan 2, this divided by bn2, bn2. Okay, so previous equation was equation number, that is this will take it as equation 6 here, this is equation 6, and then this is equation 7, this as equation 8, this as equation 8. So tan alpha 1, this divided by tan alpha 2, this will become equal to b tan 1, this divided by bn1 divided by b tan 2 divided by b tan 2 divided by bn2. So this is further written as b that is tan alpha 1 by tan alpha 2, tan alpha 1, tan alpha 1, this divided by tan alpha 2, this is equal to b tan 1, this divided by b tan 2, this is equal to mu r1 by mu r2, mu r1 by mu r2, because tan alpha 1, this is proportional to mu r1, tan alpha 2, this is proportional to mu r2. So tan alpha 1 divided by tan alpha 2, this is equal to mu r1 divided by mu r2, right? So this is our final equation, that is tan alpha 1 by tan alpha 2 is equal to b tan 1 by b tan 2, that is equal to mu r1 by mu r2, right? So the next question here, so this is the next question. So next question is, derive the expression for magnetic force between, derive the equation, that is question number 8a, question number 8a, derive the equation for, derive the equation for magnetic force between two differential current elements, for magnetic force between two differential current elements, fine students. So let us derive this, derive the equation for magnetic force between two differential current elements, right? So consider the two current elements, consider two current elements here. So I am considering two current elements, this is one element, one loop here, this is another loop. So the current element here I am considering this one as I1 dl1 bar, this is positive to negative, it is flowing from positive to negative here. So this is I1, then here it is I2 dl2 bar, okay, it is also flowing from positive to negative. This is here, as they are flowing in the same direction, there is attractive force between these two. I1 dl1 bar is one element, I2 dl2 bar is another element. Then the force exerted by the magnetic field of I2 dl2 bar on the first current element I1 dl1 bar is d of df1 bar, okay, this is I2 here, correct? So this force, that is force exerted on differential current element is given by, the equation, right? That is d of df1 is equal to I1 dl1 bar into db2 bar, okay. So that is the force is I1 dl1 into the magnetic field intensity. According to the Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field produced by current element I2 dl2 bar is given by, according to the Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field intensity produced by the current element I2 dl2 bar is given by db2 bar is equal to mu naught into dh2 bar, that is mu naught into mu naught into dH2 bar is I2. Substitute the magnetic field intensity, that is dH2, that is I2 dL2 bar cross AR21 bar, this divided by 4 pi R21 square, 4 pi R21 square. So take it as equation 2. Now substitute the value of dB2 bar in equation 1. So this dB2 bar equation is substituted in equation 1. Then we get d of df1 is equal to here mu naught is constant, take it outside. So I1 dL1 bar into I2 dL2 bar into AR21 bar, this divided by 4 pi R21 square, take it as equation 3. Okay. Now if we want this force d of dF1, then we have to integrate this equation 2 times to get the value of the force. So to get the force F1 on current element 1 due to current element 2, if we integrate the above equation 2 times, then the equation will be F1 is equal to mu naught I1 I2, these are the constants, take them outside, this divided by 4 pi into double integral, because when we are integrating 2 times, L1 integrate closed surface integral with respect to L2 dL1 bar cross of dL2 bar into AR21 bar, this divided by R21 square, take this as equation 4 here. Similarly, we can write the equation for F2 here. F2 equation can also be written. So the equation for F2 will be, okay, so the equation for F2 will be here. So F2 will be equal to, just change the subscripts here, interchange the subscript, wherever is 1 it will make it 2, wherever it is 2 make it 1. That will give the equation for force F2 exerted on the second current element by the magnetic field of the first current element. So this is F2 is given by mu naught I2 I1, this divided by 4 pi into integration L2 into integration L1, that is dL2 bar cross dL1 bar into AR12 bar, this divided by R12 square. Take this as equation number 5 here. So from the vector triple product, we can show that from the vector triple product it can be shown that is the force F2 bar can be shown equal to minus F1 bar. So what it indicates here, students? This indicates that F1 bar and F2 bar obey the Newton's third law, that is for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Okay, so this is how we are deriving the force, magnetic force, or the force between two differential current elements. Let us take up the next question, question number 8b. So question number 8b is, derive the expression for the inductance of a solenoid and toroid. Derive the expression for the inductance of a solenoid and a toroid. Okay, so let us consider the solenoid here. This is a solenoid, that is a iron bar which is surrounded by the coil, here. The current flowing is I. The length of the solenoid is L. L is the length of the solenoid, correct? And its cross-sectional area is A. So we know that the field intensity, magnetic field intensity inside the solenoid is given by this. We have studied in our first year also. H is equal to Ni divided by L, ampere per meter. The total flux linkage is given by total flux linkage is given by the total number of turns into total flux. It is N into phi. n into phi. So we know that B is equal to phi by A, B is equal to phi by A, or phi is equal to B into A. This is n into B into A. So this comes out to B is mu into H, mu H into A. Okay, so total flux linkage, so this is given by mu n H A, that is mu n, H is Ni by L, Ni divided by L into A. This is equal to mu n square Ia divided by L, mu n square Ia divided by L. So take this equation, which is equal to Ni by L, as equation 1, and this equation as equation 2. So the inductance of a solenoid is given by, L is equal to total flux linkage, this divided by total current, So total flux linkage is mu n square Ia, this divided by L, total current is I, this divided by I. So the equation for the inductance of a solenoid is L is equal to mu n square A divided by, that is here mu n square Ia divided by IL, I and I will cancel, so mu n square A divided by L Henry. So this is the equation for the inductance of the solenoid. Okay students, next is the equation for inductance of a toroid. Next is the equation for inductance of a toroid here. So let us derive that. Inductance of a toroid. So consider a toroidal ring. This is the toroidal ring here. Okay. Now this toroidal ring is surrounded by a coil like this. Okay, it is surrounded by a coil. The radius is R. Here. Fine. This is the radius R. We know that the magnetic flux density inside a toroidal ring is given by B is equal to mu Ni divided by 2 pi R. B is equal to mu Ni divided by 2 pi R. So total flux linkage is is, this is given by n into phi, or that phi is B into A, so this is n into B into A here. Okay, so this is n, B is, substitute the equation for B, that is mu Ni, this divided by 2 pi R into A. So the next equation is, this will be the expanded form of the equation. The total flux linkage, this is equal to mu n square Ia, this divided by 2 pi R. So the inductance of a toroid is given by L is equal to total flux linkage, this divided by total current, or this is equal to mu n square Ia, this divided by 2 pi R into I. Therefore L is equal to mu n square, I and I will cancel, mu n square A, this divided by 2 pi R Henry. Fine students, so this is the inductance of a toroid. If we consider the radius of both the inner surface and the outer surface, right, for a toroid with n number of turns with height h, and inner radius as R1 and outer radius as R2, then the inductance is given by L is equal to mu n square h divided by 2 pi ln R2 by R1, ln R2 by R1 henries. Okay, this is for the surface with inner radius R1 and outer radius R2 and height h. Fine students, so I hope everybody have understood here. So we have started with the derivation of the boundary conditions at the interface between two magnetic materials, of different permeabilities. We started with that. We have derived the equation. Here, correct? Starting from the various equations, we have finally arrived at the equation, that is tan alpha 1 by tan alpha 2 is equal to mu r1 by mu r2. Then we derived the equation for magnetic force between two differential current elements. So the equation for that has come out to F1 bar is equal to mu naught I1 I2 by 4 pi surface integral L1 surface integral L2 dl1 bar into dl2 bar into AR21 bar divided by R21 square. So just if we interchange 1 and 2, then we'll get the equation for the F2 bar, and we have shown that F1 bar is equal to minus F2 bar, or F2 bar is equal to minus F1 bar. Then later we derived the expression for the inductance of a solenoid and the toroid. First we derived the equation for the inductance of a solenoid, that is, it is given by L is equal to mu n square A by L henries. Then we took up the inductance of a toroid, and we have derived the equation for the inductance of a toroid as L is equal to mu n square A by 2 pi r henries. Okay, so students, I hope everybody have understood here. If there are any queries in these topics that I have covered today, please send your queries to me. I'll clarify your queries. Thank you.